Hello. So last time I talked about forgive and live. Today I want to talk about let it go. Disappointment is real. Hurt is real. Pain is real. The offense was real. But we must let it go. We must let it go so freedom can flow. When we're not free, we're bound. And we give the enemy ground that he does not deserve, that he cannot have. We must let it go. Isaiah 43 and 18 says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth." That means he wants to do a new thing. So we got to let it go. We got to let go of the old things. Let him do a new thing. And he says, now it shall spring forth. I know some things take a while. I know God's time is not our time. But he says now. That means he wants to do a new thing now, not later. I know that when you're in the midst of it, all you feel is the burn. You don't feel healing. But trust in God and let it go so peace can flow. Philippians 3 and 13 says, "But brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching for those things which are ahead." Paul was telling us to let it go. He was telling us that he had not arrived. He didn't know everything. But one thing he did know is he couldn't go forward looking back. He couldn't go forward dwelling on what was behind him. We must let it go so peace can flow. Holding on to the past paralyzes us. When we're paralyzed, we can't move like we want to. It hinders our mobility. We become stagnant when we hold on to the past. We become stuck in the mud, in the quicksand, and we can begin to sink. So we cannot hold on to the past because then we begin to forget who we are. We have to remember that we are the lender and not the borrower. We are above and not beneath. We are the head and not the tail. We must let it go so our faith can begin to flow. When we let it go, it frees us up. The burden is lifted. It improves our sense of well-being. It changes our mood. It uplifts our self-esteem. We become confident. Then we can walk in freedom and no longer be bound. Philippians 3 and 14. I talked about 13 earlier, but then the 14th verse lets us know why Paul had to let go of the past, because he had to press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. We have to press. We have to push. We have to be determined to move forward, and we cannot holding on to the past. We cannot being bound by the past. We can't move forward. So we must let it go so his will can flow. So whatever the offense, whatever the hurt, whatever the pain, whatever the level of disappointment, and I know some people do some despicable things, forgive so you can live, let it go. So joy, peace, faith, love, happiness, and the will of God can flow. You have a good day.